In this video, you will learn about optimizing changes once migration is done successfully. The optimization phase begins after migrating to SAP HANA successfully. This phase refers to performance optimization of custom objects prior to go live of the application. There are 5 golden rules you have to follow. First one is scope definition, enhanced OpenSQL, ABAP Core Data Services, AMDP, and the last one is customer code migration work list. In OpenSQL also there are 5 golden rules in general for any database. Here you can see the changes required for HANA database as well. First rule, keep the result sets small. Don't retrieve rows from the database and discard them on the application server, and use where clause as specific as possible. For HANA database also this is applicable. Second rule, minimize amount of transfer data. Use select with field list or use aggregate functions. For HANA, avoid selecting large number of columns. Third rule, minimize number of data transfers. Use joins or subqueries. For HANA, avoid nested select and prefer array operations. Fourth rule, minimize search overhead. Define and use appropriate secondary indexes, which makes data retrieval faster. But in HANA, though it allows creating secondary index, it's not required anymore, because when we create a table in HANA, it is in fact creating a set of sorted, compressed and linked indexes. As a result, secondary indexes almost never improve any performance. Fifth rule, keep load away from the database. Avoid redundant reading and use table buffering. For HANA, use code pushdown techniques. Now, SAP also has come up with new enhanced features in OpenSQL, like data-intensive calculations are delegated to the database using OpenSQL, joins, subqueries, and aggregate functions. Code to data paradigm is more enhanced. Standard SQL features are covered widely. Existing limitations are reduced a lot. Scope definition. If the 5 golden rules have been applied, then required changes should be limited to database specific ABAP code and functional, which defines the scope of changes. Use static checks like code inspector to find low performing SQL statements. Use runtime performance measurement data from a productive system to identify and classify possible optimizations. In order to define the scope for changes, you can follow 4 major steps. When you have a lot of custom code available in the system and you are migrating that, then the question arises which changes you have to retain in the new system. Total programs available currently becomes the total custom code footprint. Capture them using Custom Development Management Cockpit (CDMC) or Custom Code Lifecycle Management (CCLM). Now you have to find out how many programs are used by business. This becomes exact use list of programs. Reduce the scope to these objects that are used by leveraging Usage Procedure Logging (UPL) and ABAP SQL Monitoring Tool (SQLM). Next step is to identify which programs are critical for business, and that becomes first list of programs to be considered. The impacted objects are identified using CDMC, Code Inspector and ABAP Test Cockpit. As a fourth step, segregate critical objects, impacted objects and nice to have objects. Then set priority for changing them. The objects that are critical for the business and those with the most optimization potential in SAP worklist should be focused more. CDS views and AMDP, which are part of golden rules in performance optimization. CDS and AMDP both are code pushdown techniques, both are reusable objects. CDS can provide single output set, whereas AMDP can provide multiple output sets, and AMDP is created as a global class. Here comes the end of part 4 video. If you get an opportunity, start incorporating the learnings. All the best.